Have you ever felt paralyzed by the sheer size of your dreams? You have the vision, the talent, and the burning desire to create something magnificent. A masterpiece that changes the skyline, a business that changes the world, or a life that changes your family's future. Yet, you find yourself stuck, unable to move from the first blank page. Why? Perhaps, like many of us, you are a victim of perfection paralysis. You wait for the perfect moment, the perfect skill, the perfect initial drawing, and you wait, until the dream becomes a cage built of endless procrastination. This is not a story about hard work. It is a story about the hidden power of relentless smallness. This is the tale of Elias, a frustrated young architect who sought to build the most perfect structure in the world, only to discover that the secret to greatness was not in the grand design, but in the sanctity of a single line. Watch until the very end, because the simple three-word instruction he received might be the key to unlocking the monumental dream you've been too afraid to start. Elias lived in a city famous for its towering architectural wonders, yet he felt insignificant. He possessed a mind that saw entire buildings in perfect three-dimensional detail. But his studio remained a testament to unfulfilled potential. On his large, expensive drawing table, the paper was always crisp, always white. It was protected by an invisible, paralyzing force: the fear of imperfection. He would spend weeks designing a single concept for a public library, a concept meant to be his magnum opus. He'd sketch the soaring rooflines, the sweeping arcs, and the revolutionary structural supports in his mind. But when he approached the paper, his hand would freeze. Why? Because he knew that the first line he drew would not be the perfect line. He knew the first stroke would reveal a flaw, an error, a path not chosen that might be better. To start was to accept imperfection, and to Elias, imperfection was failure. His friends, architects of lesser talent but greater courage, were already building. They were raising functional, if sometimes flawed, structures across the city. They were gaining experience, winning minor awards, and, most importantly, moving. Elias, meanwhile, was sinking. His landlord was pressing for overdue rent. His mother worried about his endless days spent staring at the paper. One evening, a friend called to offer him a small contract, designing a gazebo for a park. Elias, scoffing at the smallness of the job, rejected it instantly, proclaiming, "I am meant for cathedrals, not garden sheds." Yet that night, desperation clawed at him. He stood before his clean, white drawing board, pen in hand. He took a deep breath, fighting the urge to outline the entire perfect library in one go. His pen touched the paper, but his mind flashed through 1,000 alternatives, 1,000,000 potential mistakes. The pressure of getting the first line absolutely right, the line that would determine the entire 12-story structure, was suffocating. With a gasp, he threw his pen across the room. It clattered against the wall, leaving the vast, empty paper completely untouched. The fear of a bad start had killed the chance for any start at all. Elias slumped into his chair, defeated, surrounded by the silence of his own great, unbuilt dreams. Defeated and seeking an escape from his silent, perfect studio, Elias wandered the city's old quarter. He found himself drawn to a humble, unmarked wooden workshop tucked away on a forgotten side street. Inside, an old man worked diligently, carving intricate designs into small pieces of wood. He was known simply as the Master Carver. Elias watched the old man, whose hands were steady, yet seemed to move without effort. "Master," Elias finally spoke, his voice heavy with despair. "I am a prisoner of my own vision. I see monuments, but I cannot even draw the first line. My desire for perfection has crippled me." The master carver paused his work, looked up at the young man, and smiled. A kind smile that seemed to understand the weight of unbuilt dreams. He didn't offer a philosophical lecture or a grand theory. Instead, he simply pushed a new, pristine sheet of paper toward Elias. "The building you dream of, my boy, is magnificent," the master carver said softly. "But you seek to build the 10th floor before you have secured the foundation. Your problem is not lack of skill, but lack of flow." He picked up a simple graphite pencil, heavy and ordinary. He did not ask Elias to draw a blueprint or an elevation. "Your lesson is this," the master carver instructed, his voice gentle but firm. "One line a day. No erasing." Elias blinked. "One line? Master, my dream requires thousands of precise lines. How can one imperfect line per day, chosen at random, ever build a cathedral?" The master carver returned to his carving. "The first line may be crooked, the second may be too long, and the third may lead in the wrong direction. But every line, whether right or wrong, is an action. Action is momentum. The commitment to the line is more powerful than the pursuit of perfection." He explained that by removing the pressure of the entire project, and by removing the option to erase, Elias would force himself into unconditional commitment to the present moment. Elias left the workshop that day, shaking his head. The task seemed foolish, insulting even, to an architect of his caliber. But with nothing left to lose, he decided to test the master's strange wisdom. Elias returned to his studio, not with enthusiasm, but with stubborn resignation. At precisely 8 a.m. the next morning, he stood before the blank paper, his mind still demanding perfection. He knew this single small line would be clumsy. He took his pencil and, in a sudden, almost angry stroke, drew a short, slightly shaky horizontal line near the bottom corner. It was nothing. It achieved nothing. It was imperfect. But it was done. For the first time in months, the paper was no longer blank. He kept his promise. Day after day, Elias performed his ritual. On day 2, he added a vertical line intersecting the first. On day 3, a curve that seemed to contradict the previous lines. He never erased. The drawing began to look absurd, a collection of random, unconnected strokes, mistakes piled upon mistakes. He felt shame, yet he felt a strange, quiet victory every time his line was placed. He was creating momentum, not a masterpiece. Months passed. The initial shame faded, replaced by discipline. Elias stopped worrying about the final vision. He only focused on the line of the day. He saw that the imperfect lines weren't mistakes, they were facts. They were the history of his hand on that specific day, under that specific mood. Then, 6 months later, Elias stood back. What he saw was not the perfect library he had envisioned, but something far more profound. The thousands of individual, imperfect lines had organically begun to connect. The crooked lines had become subtle curves. The random strokes had formed unexpected textures. Where he had seen chaos, he now saw a story. The structure was unconventional, full of character and depth, a design that could only have emerged from a long, patient journey of mistakes. It was alive. Elias had accidentally built a massive, intricate cityscape, stroke by single stroke, simply by committing to one action at a time. The final picture was not the one he planned, but the one he was capable of creating through persistent, perfect action. The story of Elias is not just a lesson in architecture. It is a profound truth about how we approach all of life's great tasks. How many monumental projects in your life, a new career, a healthier body, a better relationship, or simply peace of mind, have been stopped before they even began, destroyed by the tyranny of the first perfect line? We look at the mountain and demand a clear path to the summit, forgetting that the summit is only conquered by the next footstep. The Master Carver's rule, 1 line a day, no erasing, teaches us 3 powerful psychological principles. Elias failed when he tried to commit to building a cathedral. He succeeded when he committed to drawing a single line. The smallest action is the most powerful action because it bypasses the brain's resistance to large tasks. If you cannot write a book, write a paragraph. If you cannot run a marathon, tie your shoes. The key is to make the task so small that the energy required to avoid it is greater than the energy required to do it. The instruction, no erasing, is the ultimate acceptance of reality. When Elias allowed the crooked line to stay, he turned a mistake into data. Life does not give us an eraser. Every wrong decision, every flawed attempt, every day you didn't feel motivated, it is all part of the blueprint. You don't ignore the mistakes of the past. You build the next, better line right next to them. The finished masterpiece is often not a result of flawless execution, but of brilliant recovery. The most dangerous lie is, "I'll start tomorrow." When you choose a perfect start tomorrow over an imperfect start today, you kill your momentum. Elias realized that the collective weight of thousands of imperfect, committed lines created a building more unique and strong than any theoretical perfection. Momentum is a magnetic force. It attracts resources, opportunities, and confidence. The longest project is the one you never start, and the hardest part of any journey is always the initial inertia. Think about your life today. Are you waiting for the perfect moment to send that email, apply for that job, apologize to that person, or launch that project? That perfect moment is a myth. It is the sophisticated excuse your fear uses to keep you safe and small. Your true power lies not in being perfect, but in being present and persistent. The moment of decision is not tomorrow, it is now. Stop worshiping the massive, final vision. Start honoring the small, dedicated action. Your dream structure is not built from a sudden stroke of genius. It is built line by single, imperfect line, day after day. You have everything you need to start right now, because the quality of the line is less important than the commitment to draw it. So the question is no longer, when will I be ready? But, what is my one line today? Your masterpiece is already waiting to be built. Stop staring at the blank page of your future, waiting for perfect motivation or perfect clarity. Your clarity will come after the line is drawn, not before. I want you to make a commitment right now. Think about the one project, the one goal, or the one change that you have been delaying because the initial step seems too overwhelming. What is the simplest, most imperfect line you can draw towards it today? Share your commitment with us in the comments below. Write your one-line-a-day goal. Let that comment be the first, irreversible, imperfect line of your future success. If this story has given you the courage to pick up your pencil and start drawing, please hit the like button and share this video with one friend who is trapped by the fear of their own grand vision. Subscribe to our channel for more stories of hidden wisdom. that remind you that the power you seek is not in the future, but in the present moment, in the power of the smallest step. Remember Elias. The key to the cathedral was found in the unwavering commitment to a single, humble, imperfect line. Thank you for watching. Go draw your line.